Okay, let me see. I think we should be in here. I think we should be getting set up just fine. All right. Let me see. Okay. Hello, all newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and today we are going to be hanging out and talking about the future of Aeternia and about micronationalism in general. All of this about what we have been doing in April, what our holdup has been in April, and kind of a look into the last month to see how we're trying to improve this month. Multiple things. First off, we have White Wind said first, hello Empire of White Wind, thank you so much for hanging out with us. FLD said esports. Empire of White Wind said sports. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that is particularly interesting that the community has been talking about, and that I've actually seen quite a bit on Twitter, has been talking about micronations doing different events, particularly sporting events. So that's been something that's pretty cool to see in the micronational community. What our goal has been from the beginning is trying to make sure that we can progress our availability of resources, basically ensuring that everything that we've done up to this point remains consistent and also improves. The hardest thing for us so far this month has been trying to get off the ground because of our situation. We had to evacuate our apartment for a little bit, but we are back, and we actually have quite a bit that we have done on the way. Josh said, are you on voice chat? That's actually another thing that I'm about to get to. So we have a brand new citizen with us, Joshua Orkin. If you guys haven't seen his citizenship video, you should definitely check it out. It's one of our videos that we posted during our break, and that I really, really appreciate Joshua for making for us. It was really cool, and it was sincere. So the thing that we want to do today, in big part for our April update, is I want to talk to Josh, and I want to kind of get some feedback from him kind of about why he wanted to become a citizen and sort of what his interests in micronationalism have been, and then also going forward with talking about some of the exciting updates that we have in terms of the Forge, in terms of the new equipment that we have purchased, all in moving forward with trying to exceed Aeternia's goals for this year. We have made quite a bit of progress already in the beginning, and so it is our job to step that up exponentially if we can. The best thing about this month, though, I think, is going to be just the combination of all of our resources coming together, as well as the jump in for summer. For a lot of people, whether because of their job type, whether because of them being a full-time student, a lot of people in the micronational community are big into are having a lot of freedom during the summer months as well as the winter months. More holidays during those seasons, more time for people to step away and enjoy their hobbies, enjoy things like the communities that they're into, like micronationalism. That's been something that I think has been a big issue with us personally, and trying to figure out how to boost our nation has been getting to the point where we can have a lot of activity at once and stabilize that. So that these resources coming together in the way that they are, I think, is going to be a wonderful surprise for that. With that being said, without any more further ado, let me get into talking to Josh here. If we can, I see there's some other people in the chat. We have Nathan. What's going on, Nathan? I would say, Nathan, if you don't mind, we're going to set up for the interview with Josh, and then we will kind of open it up and talk about the future. So let me jump in here. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hey, fantastic. Thank you. Excuse me, give me just 1 second. Is this Josh? Hey, what's up, Josh?
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for becoming a citizen in the Empire of Aeternia, and then just your interest in micronationalism. I guess that's my first question for you. Is what has been your experience in micronationalism and why'd you get into it?
Um, well, I was thinking about like inside the United States. Like, don't get me wrong, I love I love my country that I came from, but I feel like that the things that are going on are just like atrocious, and I feel as um with a new country that um people could do better instead of the countries we come from.
I completely agree. I think a lot of the time, what the conversation about micronationalism comes down to is people feeling like um, they have some focus that isn't being met, some need that they want to seek in creating their own country. So, or in supporting a country that is continuing to grow and looking for recognition. So, um, yeah, I feel the exact same way, and I think that's why I got into it as well. Um, you've had a previous country. I'm not sure if our viewers know that, but um, for those of you who don't know, Josh it was the leader of another micronation previously, and I'd like to allow him the floor to talk a little bit about his micronation and what his experience in micronationalism has been as far as developing his own, and hopefully what that means for Aeternia and what he can bring to the table.
And um, when I had founded my country back in 2019, I had uh, proclaimed myself the king of my country, and we took about maybe 2 months to work on a government to establish form a government, the branches of the government, how we were gonna how it's gonna be run, and how it's going to basically function. And over that time period, I had began to work on banknotes and coins, which I had started minting myself, which we actually got over 100,000 banknotes and coins all together made with our minting machine, and we and from there we continued working on a constitution, and um about 6 months ago we were able to complete the constitution, and we had officially put the constitution in the law.
Wow, that's fantastic, and that's a lot of progress in a short period of time. I
Yeah,
will say,
100,000, that's a lot.
absolutely. I was going to say, what is your process for printing your currency? Was it a paper currency?
It was a paper currency. Now, we actually used, well, it was a mixture of actually polyester and paper, which it was just like so complicated. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it took at least probably about 24 hours to complete about 24 banknotes.
It's fantastic. That's incredible.
Because, yeah, because of, we had to we printed on both sides, and we had to let the one side dry and then the other side dry.
Absolutely. But then it sounds like with all the work that you put into it, and with getting that process just right, it it must have been like a real big effort to get. How many did you say? 100,000 of them?
Yeah, it's 100,000. We actually had help from some of my family with making them, because of course I couldn't do it all myself in a short amount of time.
Absolutely. So being that they are of a slightly different material, having that um, as opposed to, I suppose, standard like copy paper, do you feel like that made the print process harder, or was it able to be used in like a conventional printer? Did you do, silk screen process?
Um, I'm not like I feel like when we were doing it, we knew it was gonna be hard to start off, like to make sure we get the design of the banknote into the right place and not like crooked or in the wrong spot. So that was, I think, probably the hardest part of making them.
Absolutely. Um, that's interesting. So, do you feel like do you feel like you had a plan for how you wanted to use your 100,000 banknotes that you had created? Did you have a specific reason that it was 100,000?
Well, actually, again, I was actually planning to go print some more, and we were actually going to use them at the in the meantime. We were going to use them privately throughout our country, and like we could use them while like say if we wanted to say if we wanted to exchange out just like a normal exchange booth, we would trade out like say um 10, 10 of our banknotes for $2.
Hmm. So, did you, when you were thinking about the exchange rate and when you were thinking about having 100,000, did you, I guess since you did have it in circulation as well, did you notice any fluctuations in the way that the money was passed around? Like, did people regularly spend kind of what they were given, or was it something where some people had like stockpiles of money and some people ran out of money really quickly? What was the system like for you?
It was just like passed around regularly. It wasn't like some people had a certain amount, some people didn't. It was just passed around.
Interesting. Did people feel like they increased their wealth because of it? Like, did anybody gain any new items because of it, or did people do, work for each other?
Honestly, I don't really know because like I wouldn't get like the full on feedback. Like I would distribute the money and we would have it go through a system and we would then be able to like we would get an order request and then we would ship it off to wherever it whoever is going to use the money.
Absolutely. Um, hmm. So then, I guess the crazy thing about that is just having it immediately be given away and distributed. 100,000 banknotes. I'm curious as to how far that'll travel in their lifetime. Like, in 10 or 20 years, where could you find one of those banknotes?
I know, and we actually do have the circulation on hold now for anybody who like is who has any. They are able to use it, but no more will be distributed as of now because I am a current citizen of the Empire of Aeternia.
Absolutely. So, being a citizen in the Empire of Eternia now, what do you feel like is your interest moving forward? I know one of the things we talked about was trying to help us develop more of our calendar and to move forward with trying to give more structure to that aspect of our organization.
Yeah, and I feel
Is
that
music your life?
I have been actually when I am out of school, which is since I am currently doing online school because of the pandemic, I get out instead of 3 o'clock, I get out 2 o'clock. I After I do my homework, I do immediately go over and I um go on to the document you gave me about the calendar, and I just like get my notebook out and start writing down ideas.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh,
Do you have any that you'd like to discuss?
Actually, I don't really have my notebook right here. It's actually my bedtime's actually 11:30, but I will be able to stay on until then.
How I feel? All good, dude. No worries. I was gonna say, I am excited to hear them. One day, as we continue to fill out the calendar, we'll have to do like um, a a post potentially, or a little short stream that'll just be like, hey, so this is what we came up with for this period of time, and like here's how the month is gonna go or the week or whatever. I think
Hmm.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I am again. I'm really it's really an honor to be a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia, and I hope as time goes on, we um we will gain more citizens, and hopefully we will start gaining more territory.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much um, for supporting us and for helping us to grow what we're doing. It means a lot. People have kind of decided um, to help us and to support us in a number of different ways over the years, and it's really cool to see when people come in and they've had their own micronation and they have a unique perspective on how to take things forward. And I every time we've had a new citizen come on, it makes the channel that much more interesting, um, that much more expansive to everybody's needs and everybody's setup. So I really appreciate that, and I am excited to work with you, Joshua. I can't wait.
Yeah, and I hope again. I hope as time goes on, we will gain more citizens, and more citizens we have, the better.
Absolutely. Um, ooh, multiple things. We have a whole bunch of comments. So Nathan said, uh, I no st oh, because the people were Empire of Whitewind was hitting E a whole bunch. Empire of
E.
Whitewind said I was gonna go to bed at 11, but I'm gonna stay up even though I need to manage my school time. I understand. Definitely good luck with school. School's important. I have been having to focus on school a lot recently as well. Empire of Whitewind says I don't know if people seen my first Discord name, which was King Tyler. Very cool. And it's good to have you, King Tyler. Whiteland says, as I am today in the Empire of the Whiteland. That's exciting. He said, hey, Emperor AP, would you be interested in buying a horrible wooden shank for 1 note? Um, I would definitely have to check it out. We can talk about it um, after the stream. But that does bring me to one other thing, real quick. We are going to be getting a PO box pretty soon. In order to get a business license, which is something that we're moving forward with, and I'm excited to be talking about. I'm going to make a full video describing that in a little bit more detail and our plan moving forward there. But we're going to need a PO box to be able to register our place of business. So, in
Alright,
order to,
AP.
oh
When
yeah,
we get the PO box, I'm gonna send you some fantastic art.
ooh, I would love that.
Even though I'm not a
Absolutely.
good drawer, I'll send you something.
No, please do. I would love that as well. If you ever want to draw stuff and like upload it to the Discord or send it to us, I would love that. That's great stuff for like Twitter. That's great stuff for our Instagram. Just like
I'm
in
also good at
general.
drawing like on my phone. I have like apps I'm really good at drawing with, so I can just draw some digital things.
Yes, please. A lot of nations, one of the things I get impressed about all the time that I see in other micronations is having a whole bunch of cool propaganda. And a lot of the time that's in the form of like awesome things sent by citizens that'll be like, oh, here's like a drawing of like the flag, or here's a drawing of like some of the symbols or whatever. Um, I'm always super excited to see people's creativity. There
Sweet. Now,
was. Oh, I'm sorry.
now, no, you're okay. yeah. So if you do get a PO box, I will actually send you a few of the banknotes that we had made, and that way you can see them.
I would love that. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be epic.
We will have to like archive it. What I want to do eventually. Right now, it's kind of difficult with the space that we have, but once we get our land and we're starting to set up, I want to develop. I might even be able to do it beforehand, but I'll have to figure it out. I'm trying to plan. If I can get a nice setup for the streams going, I want to have a wall where we will have things that are sent to us from our PO box as the background, and to have like a cool setup to make it more professional looking, and to kind of embrace the culture that the channel has created and that the Empire of Eternia has created. And I'm excited to see what everybody sends us. I want to figure out some things that we can do to send things out. Maybe some medals, um, maybe some notes or something. So, yeah. But Nathan, I didn't know of your passion for drawing. That's awesome. Did you have you filled out a sovereignty application?
No.
Okay, awesome. I was gonna say, if you were interested in doing that, you could do a. Um, it would essentially just be an extension of your citizenship license, and it would add on the uh, um, skill of essentially being an artist or like art. If you sent us a thing, since you want to send us a drawing, if you sent us a drawing, we could archive that. We could be like, okay, so you are capable of creating like digital art or like physical art or whatever, drawings for the Empire of Aeternia. That's been proven. So you have the sovereignty license that if any other nation that becomes a part of our prestige system wants you to potentially do work for them, that could be something you could establish with them if you wanted. You would be known as like an artist in the Empire of Aeternia and in its community of micronations.
I sent you a picture in the Discord DMs of like what my drawing style kind of looks like.
Ooh, I'm excited. I like it. Hey, let me hit it up. This is it. I like it. It's very cool.
I'm
Is it
not good
a
with facial details, so I just decided not to do it.
First off, did you make the background? Did you draw that background?
No, I stole that from his album background. That's his background. I drew the person, but not the background.
Very cool. So, is the mask um, a part of the album as well?
No, I just took the head from the one guy, took the suit from another picture, got the mask and the hand and the mic from different pictures, and kind of just threw them together.
Very cool. So you made it your own custom thing. I like it, dude. It's
Yeah,
very cool. I feel like stuff like this is really great because as as you continue doing stuff like this and as you continue sort of like developing your own art style and as you continue to change as an artist, it'll be interesting to see if we have like more and more correspondence and we have things like that, how that style will change over time. I know I have a friend who, for a long time, she really liked drawing animals, and that was the only thing that she would do. Is she would just draw like her big thing was horses. So she'd draw like horses. She'd draw like fields and little pastures and stuff, but that would be about it. That was her only thing. And nowadays she's into drawing like really creepy stuff and really like interesting tattoo looking stuff. And the art style is completely different. So I'm excited to see how your art style grows.
it's actually kind of funny because I'm actually in school. I'm in art class. I'm in middle school, and I didn't choose. I didn't choose art, but I got put in art, and I'm actually doing pretty good,
Mm,
surprisingly.
makes sense. Um, hmm, um, I'm definitely excited to see that art style. I feel like um, I don't know. I've tried to get into um, to drawing before. I took one drawing class in college. Um, I'm all right at it, but I feel like I get too critical of my own stuff. I I've especially wanted to do it for animation though. We have software now that allows us to just do more animation, and if we can get more artists and more people like that, like yourself, in the community, I really want us to be able to create more little animated things for the channel and make more um, just of that show of that culture, show of that art for us. I think it's huge.
Like, here's the thing with art. Like, if listen, I can't even draw. I'm gonna be honest. I can't even draw a damn horse without messing up because I always end up drawing the head where the butt is. I can't ever get it right, like doing it.
I think my problem was I always made the neck weird. Like I could, when I have
Hmm.
tried to draw horses, I either make the head like really like smushed looking and weird, and I get like dog ear. I guess I can never get. There's so much about horse anatomy. The neck, I either make it like way too short or way too long.
Hmm.
There's, um, I feel like the body's easier because it's like somebody who's an actual artist is gonna not be happy with this, but kind of like a bean shape, maybe. You know, like it's
Hmm.
not that crazy a shape, but drawing off of that, I feel like it's weird.
Yeah, I feel like that. I mean, of course, there's people out there that can draw a horse without even messing up, but like, I think I don't know if like you're just born with that talent or like over time you will develop like that talent where you are able to like draw uh say a background of a forest or something and you won't mess up. That's like the thing that gets me. How do people do that without messing up?
I get you. I have no idea, and I feel like that's one of my big things that I'll always want to get better at, uh, in my time, in my free time, would be trying to get better at drawing, trying to get better at like digital art, especially.
Hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, so that's actually huge for the growth of Eternia in April and trying to move forward with that because we just need that. One of the big things we've been trying to do and been trying to push is getting our Twitter and our Instagram bigger, and a lot of that is just culture and culture and culture and describing who we are, what we're doing, and why we're doing it to people. Um, Art's like the best way to do that. The same thing with our YouTube channel. You know, the more that we have support like on these streams, the more that we can make these streams bigger and better, and the more that we can race toward our land goals. So, in everything that we organize and in everything that we plan, having uh, having that culture that's brought along the way fills in all the gaps for us. There's plenty of times when developing a micronation that you think about, okay, well, we have this thing that we're trying to do, but we need to look back into kind of the culture, the history that we've already created, the precedent in legal speak, for what we're doing next. And is that something that, if we're trying to shift something or if we're trying to change something, works well with our track record and with who people have come to know us as. So um, for Eternia, I think the biggest thing is us um, the trying to be defining of and accepting of everybody's perspective on our nation and everybody's representation. So, um, thank you guys for your art and your contribution. Nathan, for you sending us that art, and Joshua for you creating your art in your video and talking to us about your nation and your experiences. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Very epic.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and so I think one of the big things that that allows for in April as well is moving forward with the prestige system. The prestige system was something that got kind of weird timing, I feel like, on its release because it
Yeah, I got
started,
weird timing.
yeah, it started in, I think about mid March is when I dropped it, maybe a little bit earlier, but dropping it mid to early March, then having everything hit with needing to get out of the apartment and that starting to happen. Uh, it basically just set up a lack of content, of streaming content specifically, that I wanted to do right at that launch. So I just got backed up, and it ended up in a situation where now we have been able to kind of work behind the scenes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because a lot of the setup of this is infrastructure. A lot of what we've been trying to do is to make it easier for people to have whatever their specific skill or talent is for us in the Empire of Aeternia or for the micronational community as a whole, and make a place where it's easy and simple for everybody to come to and to do whatever transaction they need to move further along on their journey. And in developing what they want out of micronationalism. So the biggest thing for us in that has been trying to make sure that everybody understands kind of the setup, making sure that the documentation is down right, and making sure that we have all of the examples of items that we're trying to. What's up? You took both chargers. Ooh, uh-oh. Yeah.
Ooh,
Sorry, Tiffany.
APB.
Yep. Sorry about that. Good luck. Good luck. I believe in you.
APB getting yelled at by Tiffany.
Oh, absolutely. It was. I feel so bad. I.
APB in trouble.
Oh yeah, right. It's serious. I. I had when I came into stream, I had set up both of the chargers in here because I thought I was going to use both computers while she was gone earlier. And then when she came back, I forgot to bring it in the room, and she has homework, so she's trying to finish up her homework, and her computer was about to die. Oh, completely forgot about that. Goodness.
Oh, I hate that because I will forget at times that, like, computer because, like, when we were this was back in March last year, we actually like in my school district, they gave Chromebooks to every student in the school district that needed one, and like
Same.
it gave us where we would be able to, like, we would obviously have to charge because it would die, but there's the one night where I didn't even realize that I didn't put on the charger, and I was going to start school, and the computer wouldn't turn on, and I was like, I charged it, but then I looked, and the charger wasn't put in, and I was like, oh my god, what did I just do? Now I can't get in. It took me over a half hour for the computer to come on because I had to end up telling my teacher that I had not charged my computer, and I ended up having to I ended up getting an extra set of homework
Ooh.
Ooh.
because I have a history of I actually do have a history of lying, which has not gotten me far because when I had said that I had forgot to charge my computer, that's where it comes to bite you in the butt.
Goodness. Absolutely. I would say
So here's a lesson for everybody: don't lie. It's bad and it's not good for anyone.
that is a very valuable lesson, and I appreciate the honesty. That's very cool. Yeah, I think um, it definitely sucks to realize that you've talked yourself into a situation that um, that ultimately just hurts you in the long run. So yeah, I 100% agree. Honesty, uh, almost every single time, if not every single time, is the best policy. So yeah, guys, be careful with what you do, and definitely always try and be yourself and be honest about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So yeah,
And remember, kids, wear a seatbelt.
yes, absolutely wear a seatbelt. Don't text and drive. A whole bunch of things. Um, everybody be careful. Everybody be true to themselves. Believe in yourself.
I
And
sent you
for
another
AP,
epic picture in the DMs.
Before we go too long, I want to go ahead and read the chat, and then I will come back to it. Um, so Nathan said, "I'm sorry about episode 5 of the Aeternian show. I've been busy with school. That's all good, dude. I definitely understand. I've been focused on school. Oh, I've read some of these. Okay. White Wind disclaimer: knives are rusted as they are old. He's selling his first of the knives made by me for 29 notes as they're made from metal. Very cool. I'm excited to see them. Yeah, I would definitely love to set that up as an part of the Imperial market. Uh, Leanna said, greetings. We talking micronations again? We sure are, Leanna. White One said, I always forget the name you like to go by. Yes, we are. Leanna said, storytime was strange. I left because of it and explained that she goes by Leanna. Um, I feel like that's something interesting. I saw that. I noticed that, Leanna, and I was sad that it had disappointed you. I feel like the big thing for me is the Empire of Aeternia is a big community for us and is something that is very very focused. But at the same
and for
time,
AP,
yes.
I have a question. So, what? I actually have a question. What, what's your opinion on what actually has happened? Recently on the attack on the U.S. Capitol. What is your perspective in that?
I'm sorry. Could you clarify? I'm not sure the context you're talking about.
Basically,
Um,
he's just asking like, what's your opinion on the raid that the dudes did on the Capitol Hill, January 6th.
Oh, the yeah. I think that was um,
The raid Shadow Legends.
yeah. I think that was horrible. Uh, people.
yeah, because I was actually watching on TV as it was happening. I saw one guy with a Nazi flag, and I have family that are Jewish, and when I saw that
Jesus
Nazi
Christ.
flag, I actually felt like getting it. Listen, if it was legal, I'd get a gun and kill them because first of all, I don't want to see a Nazi flag, and second of all, I don't want to hear Hail Hitler in on my TV. And the thing is that like there will be times when you hear like there was a few weeks ago I was watching the news and they said that there was an older Jewish guy that was shot in a synagogue by white supremacists.
Jeez.
And like the thing is that I just don't get like what makes them think that they can do that, and then with the like neo Nazis and what they do, like I just don't get like what they think is wrong with Jews.
I think what's interesting about all of those examples and the connection between all of them is that you notice some of the most incredible, most positive um, movements in world history have all been based around uh, people um, feeling that their rights are restricted and people feeling like um, they they need to make a change for themselves. But a lot of the time, in many ways, those can be carried out non-violently, and some of the most hard-fought civil rights battles, some of the most difficult um, political situations in world history have been non-violent movements. And so I think when you see people all of a sudden becoming very reactionary and very hate-filled and very violent toward people who are their neighbors and people who are their friends and people who ultimately want a lot of the same goals as them, in light of that anger that they feel, is really sad. And it sucks because it doesn't. It's a clear indication both that they're not right and that they're not caring if they are at a certain point. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna be going because I do want to go and get some sleep for school tomorrow. But I will. I do want to say thank you for having me, and I will be here for the next live stream.
Oh, 100%. I want to tell you thank you so much. Again, everybody, that is Joshua. He has been a wonderful part of this stream and so far a wonderful
Very
part of
epic.
Aeternia. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for letting us get to know you tonight. It means a lot, and I can't wait to have you on the next one. Have a good night,
Thank
Josh.
you. You too.
But yeah, so I think that's that was an interesting conversation. Wow, I'm kind of I was touched by that. That was cool. The ultimate summation of that is neo-Nazis are bad. Don't try to make world change or political change through violence. If you're doing something right, you shouldn't need to hurt people to do it. So yeah, I feel like what the Empire of Aeternia is doing in not violent news, we are trying our best to move forward with developing developing a system in which people can come in and pool their resources, pool their working capabilities, their talents, and be able to generate a market, generate a network of people who want to collaborate and to achieve their different goals together. So I think having an organized way to set that up for people in our community is crucial, and I want to see the Empire of Aeternia play a role in that. So having people like Nathan with your art, having people like you, having people from all across our community that I've seen do stuff for us, people from our micronation, people from other micronations, people who aren't a part of any nation, any micronation, coming together to be able to show their talents allows us to build up. The more people that know about us and find us as an accepting community and as a place that they can fulfill some need that they have or some desire that they would like to see come true, then that makes us a more attractive thing for people who don't know about micronationalism, you know, for people who may be looking for a micronation, for people who may not know what they're looking for but just may want something different. I think trying to make that system allows us to redefine what it means to be a micronationalist and to kind of show a new face. So I'm excited for that organization, and I feel like ultimately the thing that relies on is making sure that we can do this right with launching the licenses that we have. We have 3 licenses as of right now. The first is the sovereignty license. Now that sovereignty license, its entire purpose is to be broad sweeping. If you don't fit into any category, micronational category that we have created yet, the sovereignty license is a fix-all. Essentially, the sovereignty license just allows and recognizes you as a person with a particular skill and allows you to go and work quests, proving, certifying that you have that skill, like you would if you were a plumber or a carpenter or whatever. You can register your skill with us, basically, get a sovereignty license, and be able to potentially either earn items or earn notes, work for other people doing that skill. The next step is the next setup is if you are a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia, you can get a citizenship license. That's something that defines you as a citizen of the Empire and allows you those specific perks and everything. And if you are not a part of the Empire of Aeternia, but you are a part of another micronation, you can get a foreign dignitaries license, which would allow you to be able to interact as the representative of another micronation in our imperial market, and would allow you the same things that a sovereignty license and a citizenship license would offer to a certain extent. Would offer you everything that a sovereignty license offers, would allow you some of the benefits of a citizenship while restricting certain citizenship aspects, I suppose, but does allow you to interact in both a individual manner, so you can work for quests, you can do things like that, but you will also be able to, in fact, interact on a larger scale, on a national scale. If you wanted to do a economic treaty, some sort of pact with another nation or something, that would be an avenue for you to do so. And would be something that could gather a lot of micronational support and recognition for, such that you could potentially hold to your agreement a little better, maybe have additional parties come in to support that. It's trying to build up all the pillars of this community and make them more accessible to everybody. That sovereignty license, that initial first thing that would allow you to get into it, the simplest version of that is the digital sovereignty license, and that's 100% free. So that's what we're trying to do, is to allow people to go from not doing, not having a way into, these ideas of purchasing land and of, supporting and becoming a part of a micronation, or potentially, starting a business. All of those things are, we want to be accessible through this imperial market, and the only way to do that is to let everything start out at a baseline level free. First off, that's very cool. Let me show. Nathan just sent something. 1023. I missed that. I really like this. Hold up. Nathan did some art for us. Ooh, Nathan. Ooh, that's very cool. Thank you so much. Let me see if Nathan's still on this voice call. Nathan, are you here?
No.
Oh no. Nathan, thank you so much for this. This is very cool. All right, very cool. So I need to post both of these on our Twitter. I might. That's so cool. We gotta do something with that. We gotta. I might. Ooh. I might make that the Twitter profile for a day or something. The Twitter icon or something for a day. We might do it. I like it. That's very cool. Thank you so much. We just have very, very little citizen created art, cultural artifacts, excuse me. And that is a great example of that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna save that and throw it into our Twitter. Thank you too. So I put, our citizens make cool art. You could be cool too. Thank you to.
Great caption.
Thank you.
Wait, just go on the Twitter, Instagram.
The Twitter. Are you following us on Twitter?
I don't even have Twitter.
Okay, cool. I was trying to put in your Twitter info, but you don't have one. Uh, thank you to Press Noble Nathan. Do you want me to put your last name or just your first name?
And you can just put like Nathan C.
Nathan C. Perfect. For
for creating epic art.
Of course, you do create epic art, dude. I appreciate it. Oh man, that's really cool. Can you? Oh, I didn't know. So Nathan, if you guys don't already know, Nathan is a press noble in the Empire of Aeternia. This is so cool. Um, eh, he has already been making wonderful art for us in the form of the Aeternian show. That's a show that's been going on the channel for a little bit. Super creative, super cool, and that's been like a staple of Eternian culture for a minute now. We actually gave Nathan the position of press noble because we were so impressed and so excited by the Eternian show and what it became for our community. So it's cool to know that Nathan is in fact a multi-talented master. This man capable of doing digital art, capable of doing drawn art, as well as making awesome content for the YouTube channel.
Advertising is my strength.
Absolutely. I really appreciate this. I'm blown away. Ooh, okay. So, hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. Could you, ooh, do we, are you still able to do the like Twitter stuff now and again?
Sorry, what?
Are you able to do the, excuse me, the creating posts thing?
Oh yeah, I think I
No.
can still do that.
Hey, I
In the
appreciate it.
Google file. Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah, if you made like art pieces like that, or like any kind of little art piece, dude, that would be so cool to put on our channel. It could even just be like words or something sometimes with like a cool background or whatever. That'd be awesome. Just whatever you're feeling, whatever you feel like represents you and represents Eternia and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I would appreciate it. I am excited for more art. Ooh. Um, we also, would you ever want to do like an exhibit?
Yeah, that'd be epic.
Yeah, we could do an exhibit. That would be really cool. We could have a live stream where we invite everybody, and after like we've created so many posts that people can like check out on our um, ooh, I got it. Um,
Now, wait, AP got an idea.
yeah, what's up?
So basically, on the live streams, you just show like you just basically show my art and that or art by citizens, and on the website you can make like a museum tab section area, and we can just put like cool facts about other nations or like Eternian art or like things like that.
I would love that. Absolutely. I would love to do something on our website eventually that's like a scrolling news thing that would just like go. I don't know how to do it yet, but that would just like go away after a certain amount of time, or that I could like change out periodically from something. Uh, I might be able to connect it to Google Slides. I'm figuring this out. Okay, so I'm going to eventually connect up something like that so that we could have, we could set it to do it for a week or whatever. We're just on the website, we would have that scrolling through. As well, on the live stream, I would really love to get into auctions. I've talked about doing auctions before. Since we're going to be getting our PO box, since we're having the sovereignty licenses set up and people being able to sell things, people being able to make things, if you would ever be comfortable with it, I know Leanna has purchased art from Tiffany before. If the community is down for it and is excited about your art, we could auction like a number of things and have some of your pieces if you wanted in the auction, and I could like send you notes or like send you something in return for the thing.
And I keep the profit.
Um,
Yes.
ooh,
Thanks.
ooh. So I was like, could we figure it out? Because I would want it to help the channel a little bit. But yes, you could it legitimately, if you wanted to, keep like a majority of the profit.
Yes, pretty epic.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah. So we will continue to talk about that. Let me show everybody Nathan's awesome art. I'm gonna create a unique hashtag so we can go back and look at this at some point and see
Yes.
everybody hanging out with Nathan's art. Um, um, yeah. Okay. EOA art. EOA art by Nathan. Awesome. I love it. Okay. Ooh, wait, and then just art. Gotta get these hashtags right. Okay. Let me see where I can grab it from. From my downloads. That's where I need to get it. Okay. That. It's not that one. Okay. Image 02. PNG. There we go. Just one past it. Awesome. Very, very cool. Okay. So we'll do that and then I'll post it on Instagram at some point. But I love that. Thank you.
Yes, also tag my Instagram account. That'd be pretty epic.
Ooh, absolutely. I will do that. I forgot. You are that's right. You don't follow our Twitter, you follow our Instagram. Okay.
Yes, big on Instagram.
I did want to hit up a few more comments.
Oh,
real
hey,
quick.
Gray's here. Very epic.
Oh, hey, very cool. Okay. Yes. Let me jump into things really quick with the comments. Leanna said storytime was strange. Yeah, so storytime was just something that I did with, or strange storytime was strange. Yes, we were, the last stream that we did, Jet and I were essentially just like making up a story as we went, and we're just kind of goofing off. That's something fun that I like to do, and I thought it's cool to hang out with my friend Jet and spend some time, so we did it, and it was cool. I'm sorry you got weirded out. Uh, I hope the next one ends up being more enjoyable for you. But I understand if you don't like it. People come to different channels for different reasons. Um, Dutchy of a mind, but I'm glad you're here now. Like it seems like you're really participating in this one, which is cool. Leanna said, "Good luck, White Wind. Making a coat of arms is difficult." Amai said, "Nice." White Wind said, "I already have one made." Amai says, "Sounds fun. I might try to make one myself." Leanna said, "I think about how I want mine to look." Um, Leanna said, I can't draw any kind of living thing. I draw mechanical and military stuff like planes, tanks, ships, and things like that. But drawing an animal or person is way beyond what I can do. That's very cool, though. Still, it sounds like you do a lot of interesting art. Then, um, Leanna said, "Sorry to hear that, White Wind." Ooh, I'm sorry to hear about that. That's very sudden news. I hope you're doing all right. Duchy of Amai says, I like drawing giraffes. Sezerpi, it's good to see you. Um, Whitewind said, my ex lied to me, told me she didn't like me, so I trusted her, and she lost all my trust out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oof.
Yeah, that's rough. Um, Trey said, wait, what's going on? Hey, it's good to see you, Trey. We're hanging out. We're talking about updates for April and talking about kind of what we're going to be doing for the future of April. Daniel jumped in. It's good to see you, Daniel. Whitewind. Whitewind says, Whitewind is going downhill. I might abandon it, but I must give it a few months to see how we go. Fun fact, Statue of Liberty was made in France. I'll say, good luck, Whitewind. We believe in you, and we hope you do well. If for whatever reason you do end up still interested in the micronational community, but not interested in running your own micronation, we would love to have you.
Aeternia.
That's very cool. Absolutely. Because you've been
Join
like
the
a big
cult.
part of the community. Okay, so let me. Ooh, I am straight up on not free for profit lo-fi. Dang, I was way off for a minute.
Copyright.
Yup, I'm worried about it for real. Okay, so let me see if I can jump into one real quick, and then jump back to some of this art. Hey, let me see if I can get Gray on. Hey, Gray, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. What has been up? How you been?
Excuse me, I'm eating. I'm good. I've been busy. Yeah, I'm best. Yeah, I've been working and stuff. So,
That's great. I hope everything's going well for you.
things are going definitely. Yeah, things are going good. So, and how you?
Fantastic. We've been going well. Things have been very chaotic, but going well. One of the biggest things was we had a slowdown recently. I posted a couple videos about it. We had um, an issue where we had mold in our apartment, and so we had to get the entire apartment cleaned out and inspected. And so now we finally moved back in, but that halted all of our orders getting out on time and made things a mess for like a week. But we've been back on track. We've actually made a lot of updates since then, so that's kind of what this video is about. We've been doing a lot. We got a new citizen who actually just showed up earlier, Joshua. He is hopefully going to be coming up with some ideas for like holidays or maybe for different small events that we could do. And I wanted to get with you guys eventually once we have a collected list and go over them to see what we could start implementing into our calendar. The next thing that I want to get into as well is we actually have a new printer, which is going to be exciting because we're going to start getting into printing our own notes instead of having them printed elsewhere. And we are also going to get into creating the citizenship licenses, sovereignty licenses, and foreign dignitary licenses available and laminating them. We also have a laminator now, making them available for sale on the imperial market. So that'll be something cool as well.
Wow, that's exciting to hear. That's good to hear. Yeah, I saw your post up on YouTube about the mold. Sorry to hear that.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was more just an annoyance. Once we figured out about it, we just kind of wanted to step away for a bit and get it cleaned out. But yeah, we are good now. Everything should be set. the thing that I've been trying to figure out recently, and that's been on my mind for whenever we can have like a more in-depth government meeting, is I really want um, uh, to figure out how we can organize everything to be able to be juggled between people as schedules kind of roll around. And so the calendar has been big on my mind, and the how that's going to fit with um, the prestige system and setting up everything and making sure that that gets developed um, properly is a big concern for me, because as we continue forward, as we continue to get closer and closer to our land purchase, as we get our monetization here in a little bit, um, that's all setting up right with continued growth on our Imperial market. And with this big system launching, with us getting our business license and a PO box, I think that's only going to accelerate. So if we can get this system locked down and stable, by the time we get our land purchase underway, we can have a really solid system set up to interact with other nations on a large scale. And if we start doing things on a larger scale, there will be more of a market for that. And so I think the timing of all of that is I guess, of importance.
And very exciting to have coming up. Yeah, definitely exciting. Good things are coming.
Absolutely, I can't wait for them. Um, as well, that's been one of the big things that's exciting. So I have a research opportunity this summer, which is going to be good and uh, strange, I guess. So the good news first. Um, it means I'm not going to be taking classes this summer, which uh, is weirdly fine for my degree, because I can't take my next degree available class, like thing that's important for my major, until the fall. So I was just going to take electives anyway. But now that now that that research opportunity has been accepted, that I'm super excited about, I am not going to be having classes, which means I'll still be doing a lot. I'll be focused 100% on this research project, like I'd be doing schoolwork, but hopefully that will allow me more physical free time, where I'm not having to be moving from place to place too much, where I'm not having to be trying to do things as much with organizing school schedule and work schedule. That'll be kind of compacted down into one thing. And so hopefully that will allow me more time to make not only more content and do the streams more regularly, but also to start setting up like big content stuff to do that would be more exciting tours of what we're thinking about doing for Aeternia, and with the land purchase, and with our economics, and doing the series that we've come to know and love.
Absolutely, yeah. And the arc reactor, or not the arc furnace, that's up, so that's good.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big thing I want to talk about in the government meeting as well. Is like now that we have that, the last ingot that we melted with it was a little over 2 ounces, and just a completely pure ingot. And that
Yeah.
is particularly interesting because there are a ton of there are a ton of charcoal furnaces, like we had at one point, or even gas furnaces, which can melt large potentials at one time, large batches of aluminum at one time. But the big difference, excuse me, let me pause this. Um, the um, the big issue with those that I have seen, and that I hope to push for the Empire of Aeternia, is that a lot of the time um, the 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 charcoal furnaces, um, they are particularly bulky. You have to spend a lot of money on charcoal, and you also have to get a really large fire in order to get up to temperature. For the gas ones, they're a lot smaller. They're a lot easier to work with, as far as as far as size, but they are certainly a bit more dangerous because you're working with gas lines like pressurized combustible gases. And you're also, uh, in both of those circumstances, doing stuff which is very negative for the environment. You know, you're burning gas, you're burning charcoal, you're burning matter, which is plant matter, which is creating CO2. So to help be a little more eco-friendly as well as get really concentrated, scalable power, we are going with this arc furnace design. Um,
Earlier, yeah.
we're becoming Tony Stark,
Ark of the Covenant.
of course. So we are going with the arc furnace design because it's run purely off of electricity, meaning that we get land, we set up a whole bunch of solar panels, we set up hydroelectric things, wind energy. The more that we can set up on our land as generating energy ourselves, the more that we can store in large capacitor banks and large battery banks and actually use for powering the things that do the large industry production we're going to be doing. And that's something that I'm already working on the second iteration of. Now that we have the first iteration of the Arc Forge created, while we're going to start to pump things out and start getting some ingots for sale on the Imperial market soon, we also want to move toward upgrading that even more to be able to handle a slightly larger volume so we can put out like 1 pound ingots. And that's kind of the next scale, but the power jump there will be incredible. I have a particular transformer that I already have, and that is more than enough. So I'm super excited about that, and I can't wait to set it all up.
Yeah.
Making some
It's,
big brain news.
So good to have some ingots and a good setup. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. As well, just economically, you know, the cost of the electricity versus the overtime versus the cost of the gas and certainly the charcoal is a lot cheaper to go electric. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, I think our biggest focus and our biggest weak point right now is trying to figure out a way to grow evenly, and that's something that I'm hoping to look into further as we start having our next few meetings, because I know one of the things that you and I, Gray, have talked about is some of the ideas that have been floated in the past, and some of the ideas that I know you had created and that were around a few different plans that didn't feel like they were at the right time at that moment. And I feel like the interest that I've seen in the Empire of Aeternia and the way that we're growing in particular seems like is becoming more and more advantageous to doing a number of projects. And so I feel like as we continue to grow, if we can grow smoothly and stably, and if we can ultimately find a way to all keep a kind of a pace with each other, then we can allow for that system to be filled in more properly, and for a lot of those ideas that we have just stockpiled up can start to be implemented and start to be used more effectively, I think.
It's nice seeing people use the prestige system and watching how that's been growing.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to thank you for your part in that, and for I guess crediting you properly with a lot of the creation of that, and with a lot of the design of the elements and the thought behind it. It of course was modified from your true, I suppose, initial vision of it. But I guess I'm curious as to if you feel comfortable with it yet, or if you feel like you understand the initial launch as it is now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, as far as the idea of growing in economics, it's definitely something that's leading in the forefront for Aeternia. It's really nice to see you having the website and seeing, you know, that board that's up there, and it's the constant economic growth that's happening. It's exciting, and I think it's going to help Eternia grow more and more and more. You know, I'm looking forward to that, and obviously with some of the new things that are coming up, and yeah, as the Empire grows, some of these systems that we talked about in the past, you know, that are coming more to the forefront, they're going to find their way, you know, and we're going to be more and more stable and more growing, and you know, there's going to be a lot of newer opportunities, you know, as the Empire grows. So I'm looking forward to that, definitely. It's nice to see how things have been going, and it's nice to see the community becoming more and more involved and having more and more consistent viewers and more people participating, and a new citizen. Like, that's wild. That's really nice to have. And thank you for joining, and those who have become citizens, you know, and taking each step each day, you know, to grow the Empire and do what we believe in, and do that together. It's really exciting. So yeah, I mean, I think what's been going on is exciting. Good news.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that as well. I think one of the one of the biggest dilemmas that has been on Eternia's plate for a long time that we haven't been able to shake is this feeling of, well, we know what the ideal scenario is. We know where we want to get to, but there's always this like limiting factor of, well, if we don't have enough people, we can't do this properly, and if we don't have enough time, we can't do this properly, and if we don't have enough money, certainly we can't do these things. So it's really cool to see different avenues starting to get fleshed out for that. And I'm really happy to see, just like you said, that there's some traction, there's some momentum there. I can't express how, just from starting Eternia, even though we still have a way to go before land, it feels so close to me right now. Like just thinking about the channel initially, and thinking about just hoping that this would be something that people are interested in, and hoping that it could be something that sticks with anyone, has been incredible to see such an interest and such a connection, and it really just becoming something that's not what it was anymore. It's Aeternia now. It's yours, it's mine, it's everyone's, and it's unique to itself more and more. As people come in, like we just showed art from another citizen, you know, our Twitter's becoming more active with just different things that have popped up in the Discord, and little events. So it's really cool.
I have a few things I've been working on for the economy that I'm not quite ready to show yet and share with. Just things I've been making that I eventually want to put on the Etsy or sell to citizens. So I'm looking forward to what that will be in the future. But for those you know, who are in Aeternia as the Empire, like, we have money, we have a currency, you know, we have the ability to make things. So I think that we're all willing to support and help each other. So if you have things that you're making and whatnot, you know, that's either part of you as an individual or Eternia, and share that, you know, with the rest of us. And we can buy that from each other. We can build things, and we can make things. And, you know, like, at the end day, you know, at the end goal, our goal isn't just, you know, having money for the Empire. It's having money for our own individual wealth, you know, and wealth is something that we create and generate as individuals. So I just encourage everyone for that, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys some things that I've just been working on. And yeah, so that's that. But yeah.
Oh man, I'm super excited. One, I know one of the last items that you and I had talked about was the Aeternian belt and the
Sash, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, the sash, yeah.
Sash, yes. My apologies. The sash, and that being something really cool. That's a unique contribution to the culture and the different people that are a part of Aeternia. So I am excited to see what you come out with. I'm excited to see everybody start to put more in like that. I know the biggest thing for us when trying to get the prestige system sort of finalized in its next steps is really making sure that we have the quest system down, and that being a big part of that and business licenses, but business licenses being something that seem, certainly at this step now, a little bit more approachable and a little simpler. The creating business licenses for people to sell stuff on our Etsy, but the quest system, the biggest issue with it right now is trying to figure out what the design and I guess parameters of the law are in the United States with regard to the use of a virtual currency or the use of a community currency. I have recently been speaking to a lawyer to set up our business licenses and do stuff like that. And one of the biggest concerns that they had was not being, ooh, hold up, we got a thing. We just got a thing on Discord. Not on Discord, on Streamlabs, but I didn't see it. I imagine it was it was a sub. Hey, thank you so much. Somebody subscribed to us. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't see that person, whoever it was. Thank you for
It was a
subbing.
thing.
What's up?
It was a thing.
Yeah. I completely missed what the sub was, what their name was. But so one of their concerns just was that they didn't know enough about the laws around that sort of thing, and there being sort of a very loose legal structure to that as of the moment, as far as what restrictions are, how they're taxed, how they're regulated basically. And so trying to set that up properly and trying to make sure that that's something that we do in a way that is simple and in a way that is effective for everybody is really important. So that's the only thing stopping us really with the quest system right now. Once we have that, we can start like creating accounts for people and being able to establish the Imperial Note as a transactional medium for people online, a virtual currency that can be used both in person at events that we'll do eventually and over the internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing that we need to find that I would like to talk more about in our next government meeting is just legal knowledge in that regard, and hopefully some legal advisement in that area.
Yeah, I wonder what the laws. I wonder if it's also state by state and how much federal has to do with it.
So from what I understand right now, federal regulates it more than state, but I think the federal laws are also kind of wobbly around it. State law, I have no idea about though. Like I don't know what any particular state laws are for Alabama or anything. But it would be worth trying to figure out for sure. Because I know like Ithaca, New York has Ithaca hours, that's used as like a currency. There was a group in Europe, in Britain that did that, but that wouldn't affect the United States. There are a number of cities in the United States that I know of. The Conch Republic may have been one at one point, but that who have developed their own sort of community currencies. And with cryptocurrency and stuff, there should be a similar setup. I don't think cryptocurrencies are regulated the same way as those community currencies are, but there has to be some setup for that,
Yeah, I think it depends. So I know that within America, you can, well, at least certain tribes, Native American tribes, are registered as nation groups, and they have a place within, obviously, like special allowances made for that just due to the history of America. But I wonder if there's same thing with Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is registered as a nation.
They're a territory, though, aren't they?
they are a nation and they have a unincorporated territory.
Ah,
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're as a nation. Same as Scotland actually. Both Scotland, same thing as it's also considered a nation, and it doesn't own its territory. But that's obviously outside the United States. So I wonder if the first steps would be just passing some kind of legal requirements for a nationhood. A group of people obviously having our laws and currencies and heritage and all that jazz down. Um, and then getting land. And so being a nation, being able to have land would probably change how the law dealt with the empire versus like a company that owned land.
Absolutely. I would definitely love. I feel like that would be a large next step. So absolutely, if there was I think the biggest thing that would be difficult about it is like the legal argument, because if the precedent is only currently based around Native American tribes, and they say that's a nation because before the Pilgrims, immigrants came into the territory that's now the United States. It was tribes and countries for these Native Americans. So if that's the case, you would have to build so much support for it, or create a mix of that and a lot of money and some legal precedent for, or some legal loophole for further establishing that and making that something that people would consider its own nation and an independent entity. Like, I think you'd really have to work to prove that part, as it would stand up next to the history of a Native American tribe, for example.
Yeah, I wonder what the laws or the requirements are for a Native American, and what the law would consider and how recent.
Because technically, I was born here. Like, it doesn't make me Native American in the cultural sense, but it makes me, I guess, by strictest definition, someone who is native to the Americas.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I wonder what the
But I
laws
don't
are.
think that's what the law is for. I'm sorry. If you want to continue speaking, I need to go and run in the other room. But please continue. I'm sorry. I will be right back.
It's good. It's good. Nathan, how you doing?
yeah, doing good.
I'm just looking at the art that you sent me.
Yeah, it's very epic.
Yeah, it is epic. There we go. Wow, that's really booyah. Guess what I'm drinking tonight?
Tea.
No, it's actually coffee.
Whoa, that's a big change.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
We're in the Matrix.
Just a little bit. If you see the black cat twice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you start seeing young Keanu Reeves, I recommend you run.
Yeah. I'm really excited about the new Arc Forge.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice.
Mm. Wonder if we can start minting our own bullion.
Yes. Once we start minting our own coins, well, we need to figure out how to get the imprint thing so we can have like how with the U.S. quarter our coins, you have a president's face on there. We gotta do that with AP.
Get him stamped.
Yes.
Like take the art that you made, right, and turn that into a coin. Do it to the face of the coin. Get it embedded.
That's a good idea.
That'd be wild. Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
Nothing. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. How did you make this art? How did you do that?
Just on my phone, I got a free app, and I just taught myself how to do it.
Nice. I guess that's the skills of being a press noble, right?
Yeah.
We believe nothing builds more confidence while driving than having the right tires and getting them at the right price. Mavis Discount Tire, saving people money for over 50 years.
I've never felt so close to the possibility of disclosure.
What?
The Nephilim, the giants. You can't make up that kind of stuff.
They've overcome stage 4
I wonder
And it's
with
the
the
real
bullion,
deal. It's the
if you
real
make
deal.
much,
I'm
you
George
do them
Lawrence.
in
We
different
here at
sizes,
Triumph
or would they
are
all be
committed
one
to
size?
revealing the truth. Homeland
Or
Security
different.
has
Yeah,
a video,
that's a
and
good
it's
point.
really strange. Credible stories of anomalies.
Maybe getting
those
those stamped too.
hurricanes.
So like having like
So
coins,
much
like
seems
smaller
to be
pieces, and
locked
then
in the
like
codes
bars,
secret
bullion.
Something else is going on here, don't you think?
Yeah.
This program is set up for you to hear the mysteries of this planet, the mysteries of
It'd be good to get
universe,
Steven's
also
input on that too.
events that are
Maybe in one of the
happening
meetings
right
we can
now that
see what he
affect
says
our
about that,
lives.
so what we can do for the economics on that inside, and see what he thinks about it.
Yes.
Ingo Swann saw structures. What do you think of that? Is it possible to develop skills like telepathy? You changed a lot of people who were skeptical
here,
about life
here's,
after death. They are actually seeing
Yeah, I wonder-
artifacts from prior.
I was looking at, there's a company out in Texas actually that will mint coins for you.
Are they
Copper,
ghosts? Are they extraterrestrial? What
silver,
exactly are they?
and maybe, no, I don't think it's gold. I think
Makes
it's
a lot of
copper and
sense.
silver. But you buy blanks, and then you send them what you want stamped on it, and then they'll stamp it out. It's not that expensive. I forget the price. I think it was like
This could be
$1,600
one of the biggest
for-
breakthroughs in the study of the supernatural.
I forget how many coins they did, but yeah, they would stamp them out, and the initial part of it was expensive because you got to buy the stamp for it, and they got to make that custom. So initially, when you get into it, it's more expensive, but as you buy more and more coins, it gets cheaper.
Yeah.
But we could do it our own. It'd be fun to make a machine.
Yes. Engineering.
Yeah. Upgrades, people. Upgrades.
Yes.
Mm.
Hey everybody. I'm sorry if I left it on during an ad or multiple.
I just heard someone yelling. I think it was Tiffany.
Goodness. Yeah, she is like super frustrated with her homework. I hope you guys have been able to like keep convo going. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Yeah, I'm trying to help her look over some stuff because she has like only a few more minutes to get her homework done. She has like 5 problems left. She's trying to blow through them, and I'm trying to understand it as well.
Just go Naruto running mode and just blitz through it.
She's killing it. So I was gonna go and sit with her for a second more, but I didn't want to be leaving you guys too long without checking in.
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, what have y'all been talking about?
Just small talk, I would say.
Bet. Okay. Well, I am excited to see. Oh, I'm sorry. What's up, girl?
We were just talking about coins. So we were talking about how, the art that Nathan made.
Yeah.
Talking about like stamping that onto like coins or bullion and whatnot, like the different art it's created. Yeah.
Very cool. I will say this. One of the things I did learn about currency law. I'll say this and then I'm going to jump back real quick. But so in the U.S., you can make paper currency, but you can't make coins and use them as like a currency. You could sell like a commemorative coin, and we could definitely do that, and I'd be hype about that. Or we could make it into like a pendant or like art or whatever. We just couldn't use it as like an accepted form of currency.
My local town here in this area has their own currency called Berkshires. And it's used in a number of businesses and whatnot, but they don't do the coins, they just do the paper. But yeah, it's actually used like a local currency here. It's not really micronation or anything, but they really wanted to use their own currency, and they felt the value that it provided to the community, small businesses. So a few years ago, some people established like a local currency.
Can we figure out more about that, like how they do that and what
I
the laws around that
I
are?
think I heard about that one time.
Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
called Burke shares. I'll put it in a Discord. I'll send it to you.
Thank
Even a
you.
few links I have on it.
Yes, please. I will be right back. Excuse me, guys.
he was calling again. Time to I don't know.
Let's see here. We're gonna this. Oh, I don't actually know if he is. I was gonna turn on that what's the name of it? I don't remember. What's it called? Yeah. Shark-a-doo-doo-doo. I'm a shark-a-doo-doo-doo. Baby
Please
shark.
don't.
Yeah.
Baby Shark, what's a bad song to open the portal to hell to 2020?
Point. Yeah, point. I'm still wondering what happened to the wasps, though.
I'd be getting Vietnam War flashbacks to 6th grade. Had to play Baby Shark at my first band concert.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I actually did.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It was hilarious though.
What were you playing it on?
I was playing trombone.
Are you gonna write the Aeternian anthem, part 2?
No, I don't play trombone anymore. I do percussion.
Percussion as in what kind of drums or?
It's kind of like it's mainly like snare drum with like mallets, marimba. Sometimes I forget what it's called. Bongos and just like stuff like that.
Nice. How long have you been playing that?
I started like middle of 6th grade. I'm in 8th, so 2.5 years. Wow, that's a long time.
Why the switch over from trombone?
And it's just because my band teacher thought I was kind of like struggling with it because I couldn't like get the right notes out. And then they're kind of discussing other instruments like tuba or baritone. And then at my school, they've done like percussion classes for the main band. And I just started attending those. And then mom was like, well, he's been attending those classes. And she was like, oh yeah, well, I guess we can give him a shot. And then I just kind of stuck there.
And you feel like you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's really fun. It's pretty epic because like I'm a drummer, so I'm in the back with the loudest, but like we're the loudest. And many of you don't know this, but the drum is actually the most dynamic instrument in the whole band.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because you can play the quietest and you can play the loudest.
Wow. I don't know that. Is that for just drums in general, or the particular drum? Okay.
I think drums in general, I would say.
Wow. So do you read drum music at all?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh. Is it different than regular sheet music? You say like?
Yeah, it's basically slightly different from regular music because for drums they don't have notes. It's just like sticking, so like right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Just like it'll tell you. Well, it won't like tell you. You just kind of make it up in your head. But then also there's just like different notes and ways you hit the drum that will change how it sounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Are you playing anything at the moment?
We're actually playing The Incredibles and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, nice.
for our band concert coming up. We just got approved for band concert,
Nice.
so
Is it
it's
difficult?
pretty epic.
Is it difficult to play all with COVID, like with your band?
Well, for percussion, it's kind of easy because we don't have to like blow out of anything, so like spit won't come out. We just have to wear a mask. But like for the other band kids, they get like special masks that could open for their instrument, and then also they had to put like I don't know what, oh yeah, spell covers on their instruments like this, so not as much spit comes out of the machine, out of the
Mm.
instrument.
Mm. Oh, nice. How do you like the Bohemian Rhapsody? What's that like on percussion?
So basically for that one, I'm just playing cymbals, so I'll only play like very small parts in the song, which is good, I guess.
Mm. Mama mia. Mm. Mm. Are you guys got the whole thing?
Oh yeah, I think we've got like almost the whole thing.
Oh. Yeah, well, I watched these two guitarists live once that played. There was two guitarists and they sang it, but they did a really good job of like dividing it all up in all the different
I
parts.
guess.
It was definitely a fun watch. It was definitely interesting seeing that amount of talent, playing that.
I think I might go because it's like 12 a.m. here and I got school today, technically tomorrow.
Did
but
this for real just go
today,
through this
so,
man's
yeah, I should
entire
probably
music
go.
video?
Well, it was good talking to you, man.
Yeah, it's good talking to you. Tell you that I left.
Hey, see you, Nathan. Hey, see you, Nathan. Oh,
Jim.
damn, I missed him. Did it play that man's entire music video?
I think so.
Jesus Christ. Well, first off, that's definitely going to get copyright strike. Secondly, I'm sorry for making everybody sitting through that whole thing. Oh, man. Okay. Multiple things. Whitewind said they're gonna hop off. Have a good night, Whitewind. Leona said AP invest in a dehumidifier. It'll pull excess moisture out of the air that would contribute to mold growth. That's a very wise investment strategy. I'll definitely hit it up. Leona said good night, Whitewind. Said greetings, Gray. Leona asked about the aristocrat board and how it's doing. Let me actually check in on that right now, and we will find out. So I believe there needs to be some adjustment with it. As of right now, it sits at, goodness. Okay, 60 notes for Matthew, 55 notes for you, Leona, 30 notes for Drew, 25 for Raymond Boscher, 16 for Steven, and 6 for Mason. The thing that I need to do right now is to update and go back and check in. Well, I guess I won't do it this second. I will do it before next stream. Before next stream, I will have the aristocrat board updated. I think I need to add in some more of your stuff, Leona, for the aristocrat board. I believe you have purchased more notes, and that's not the correct number, but I need to be certain. We have sent those out though as of the other day, so I'll go back, crunch the numbers, and I will update the board. Leona may be in first above Matthew Freeman. This is a crazy record. We will be discussing this momentarily. That will be very cool. As well, I think that's that's a big part of our culture that's growing, and that we're trying to get um, to become more well-rounded for us. Is we have these things like the aristocrat board, and like a lot of the services, the quest system that's starting up, for example, on our website, that are we're trying to get more interconnected. So we're trying to make the culture from our Imperial Market and our creative people in Discord and all the other micronations that we interact with. We're trying to get them to work more closely with our prestige system, which connects to our website, which connects to our social media, and connecting all of our community in a way that strengthens our ability to use Aeternia for our own purposes and for growing and for making our dreams. So the um, the next big steps for that is always just re-solidifying that and adding more on top. And I think um, having people continue to advance the aristocrat board is a great show of that, and is a great measure of how we're doing. Right now I'm on the Berkshire's website, and I'm checking out what they do and how they do that. So it says Berkshires Inc. is a place-based, democratically structured non-profit organization that issues bank shares of local currency for the Berkshire region. Berkshires Inc. works collaborating, participating in local banks, local businesses, local non-profits to strengthen the Berkshire regional economy through a local currency program and related pursuits. Member of Berkshires envision a diverse and resilient regional economy that supports priorities, responsible production and consumption, wherein community members rely on land and each other to fulfill the basic needs of food, culture, clothing, shelter, and energy. Dubbed a great economic experiment by the New York Times, Berkshires are a local currency for the Berkshire region of Massachusetts. Federal currency is exchanged for Berkshires at 9 branch offices of 3 local banks and spent at 400 locally owned participating businesses. The circulation of Berkshires encourages capital to remain within the region, building a greater affinity between the local business community and its citizens. That's really cool. So that's interesting, because that means that there is precedent and it is legal. At least there is some way for it to be legal at the federal level and in the state of Massachusetts. So now I would be interested to go back and talk to the lawyer that I've spoken with previously about this specific concept, because what I would like to do is to be able to see if either through them or through someone else I could whittle down just in state law if there's anything prohibiting that. Because if you could find out that no, there's not anything prohibiting it in state law, and if you could structure it to work within the federal limitations, potentially even guided by examples like Berkshire's, you could, I think, without too much difficulty, set that up. Like, it seems like if they have banks which have to be FDIC approved, exchanging this currency and accepting this currency, then it seems entirely reasonable that you could have that set up and work well.
Definitely. It'd be interesting to see what can be done where Aeternia is at right now.
Absolutely.
So what can be done after you talk to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If Google Fiber.
Oh no, that's all I had to say. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what your lawyer will say.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I want to try and figure out with that is really how we can, as quickly as possible, incorporate it into the ability to use it on our Imperial Market, on our Etsy. Because there have been a lot of people through the aristocrat board who have already purchased our notes, and so there's a lot of that that's primed for circulation and that we have account for. But the thing that right now I'm hesitant about, which I think leaves us in a a legal green area, so far as I know, is that we're selling them as of right now as a sort of a one-way ticket. People can purchase Eternian notes and people can have them, but as of right now, they don't have a solid means of exchanging them back. All the things that are sold on the imperial market as of the moment are based in U.S. dollars. We say that the imperial note has an exchange rate 1-to-1 to the U.S. dollar, but we don't have active exchange and trade going on. So if we could figure out how to responsibly and legally allow that trade to take place, then all the people who have already purchased notes, already invested in our economy, have the means to then spin those notes and feel a value returned to them out of the notes that they've purchased, which then means that one, it frees up their ability to purchase more notes, because if you have a whole bunch of this money that you can't spend, eventually you'll be tired of purchasing all that money. But if you can then use it and you're excited about how much value you gained out of that, you'll be excited to purchase more.
Definitely, definitely. I'm looking forward to individuals within Eternia to be able to spend their money back and forth to each other, not just buying it and having it. You mentioned earlier the quest system, and that's something I'm looking forward to seeing more and more of use, being able to have a much more interactive community.
I completely agree. And I think um, the the big thing that's important there is trying to look at what we can do in the meantime. There's a couple questions that I want to send to um, um, that I want to have looked over and approved legally, just to see if we could start getting the ball rolling on some of those things. The the biggest thing is trying to set up um, our own individual quests that Eternia needs done in the short term. That and you and I have talked about this, I think, in the past to some extent. Something small that allows Eternia to get the ball rolling with quests. And I think before we have the note established and set up properly legally, what we can do in the meantime potentially is to give items. So to do like a direct exchange. Um, and
Mm.
I need to figure that out and figure out how potential taxation or something like that might work. If there are taxes to pay on that, or if there's uh, some specific way to go about it. But um, it, you could potentially have something like a reward. So instead of um, the payment of imperial notes, you could say, hey, there's for the people who submit for somebody who applies for Eternia's thing, they can get a medal, or they can get a particular cultural artifact, or a particular thing from the background of our set, or something like that, that we establish and set up for it.
Definitely, yeah. Mm. I wonder what Steven will have to say, what his thoughts on this as well. Definitely.
Absolutely. One of the things that's been interesting, I heard from Steven last maybe a week ago, and it was interesting because he was really like hype about getting a lot of stuff done, and he was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure that we can start like discussing things and start like planning stuff out." And then like all of a sudden, I didn't hear from him. Like we had gone through a few messages, and then it was kind of like a oop. And I've seen him, I think maybe on the stream earlier, a little bit earlier tonight. I think I saw him on the stream for like one comment. So I'm curious to see if he's back online now and if he's more active, because we do need to get him on the conversation. I'm excited to have our next government meeting.
Yeah, yeah. I know he was sick for a while, and so that was really sorry to hear that. Coming
Oh,
out of that, I
absolutely.
hope he feels.
Um, yeah, absolutely. I think he does feel better from what I understand. I think scheduling stuff I imagine is what's been getting to him. But then again, I haven't heard the confirmation, so I definitely am excited to hear back from him, and I can't wait. Um, One of the things that I know he and I had talked about last, though, was something I believe you and I had talked about last as well. Trying to move forward with like video content and doing stuff like that. Um, I want to figure out. We've potentially talked about like doing collaboration videos of some sort, either by like things that we've done in the past, like interviewing other nations, but also the setup of trying to move forward with e- easier strategies for us to do work that pools together. So when we make a video, having, of course, anybody able to make a full-length video able to do that, that's fantastic. We'll post that and we'll get that out. But for times where you may be able to contribute or have some ideas you want to talk about but can't make the full video, um, there should be some ways for us to put together little clips or little segmented videos of just kind of what's been up, just little collections of information that we can throw out from time to time, that we can work on just over some length of time, um, for making a video.
Definitely, and it's really nice to have Nathan as a press member too. And I think maybe the next meeting we can all sit down and talk, and see if we can also like where we can compile all of our different clips, um, and be able to put them together and be able to share that. I definitely agree. Being able to make content more and more together, it's gonna be good.
Absolutely. As well, I want to commend you for the House of Others progress and its development. I know that when launching our government, we have had a lot of ups and downs, and we've been having to figure things out in some part as we've gone along. But one of the biggest things that I'm really proud of, and that I'm really appreciative of you for, is continuing to provide new ideas and continuing to provide ways for us to grow, and as well by establishing a good like culture within the House of Others and a good atmosphere for people to come in. Because Nathan, I know for a good long time you've worked closely with Nathan. I'm not sure about the last couple weeks, but he has been throughout this entire time, even currently actively like doing stuff and actively like making things. And I definitely contribute a lot of that to Nathan as just being who he is, and being a great part of Eternia, but also to you and to the environment that speaks to within the House of Others, and the progress that's being made there.
Appreciate that. Nathan's awesome. I'm really happy to have him within the House of Others, and being a press noble. Working with him has been great, really good, and he's really worked hard, And I just saw the art. I was looking at that. He sent me one that he made, another one that he made, and I was like, wow, that's really awesome. To have that Aeternian style. It's cool.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I'm excited about whenever you were talking about wanting to get out more stuff for the economy and wanting to get out more stuff for the imperial market. I am thrown, and I'm super, super excited to see what we can pump out for it. And
Definitely.
yeah, and I am. Um, that's been a thing that I've been trying to wrap my head around. We did one video about like leadership dress and like sort of how a uniform can be put together, but I really, really want to do more with clothing design and with making Eternia unique as far as its aesthetic. Its aesthetic as far as its people, its aesthetic as far as the way that it feels to be an Eternian, to meet Eternians. And I think doing things like creating those clothing pieces, creating those accessories that have a specific valued purpose in Eternians' lives, it's something small, and it's something that in your everyday life you may not really think about, but has a huge impact on who you are.
Definitely, definitely. And as we are an empire, we have a nation, and culture. And as we all come together and we develop that, good things that come from that. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what comes on the Etsy, especially in the future with all the new citizens, content that's being created. I'm looking forward to as well with some of the other nations that come in and they join us and whatever trade deals or treaties that we work with them and on what things that they'll provide as well to our economy, uh, back and forth. And as you mentioned, like another nation's using the currency, which is really really wild. Um, so yeah, like I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I completely agree. That's something I really didn't even talk too much about this stream. But yes, the Empire of Whitewind supporting our currency, that is something that has been big for us and that I'm really excited to still see Whitewind support and their enthusiasm about it. We've also been talking to a lot more nations. We've gotten a lot of applications for alliances, and we've been going through and emailing back and forth more and more with different nations about their contributions and their interests. And one of the talking points that keeps coming up is the prestige system. That I think the prestige system is going to be cool for Aeternians. It's going to be cool for individuals in the micronational community. But the place that I'm excited for it most is for nations like the Empire of Whitewind adopting the imperial note as a way to jumpstart their economy. To just say, hey, if you adopt this as your currency, if you will use this to trade with other people in the imperial market, even if you don't make it your official nation's currency, this is still a medium for you to access this entire marketplace and this ability through this system to work with people who have potentially more money and more resources than you do to get where you need to go.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I was talking with Nathan just about creating um, bullion and whatnot, and forge and whatnot. With the forge and having that, and it'll be really exciting too. Also, just creating pieces like you're talking about, especially for the quest system, being able to create specialty items for people to get. I think that's something that will be really exciting. Just be able to share that, be able to like, hey, I did this quest and I got this, or I built this and I was able to, whatever the quests are. That's something I'm really really looking forward to, especially with like a sovereignty license and whatnot. Other individuals, that are not part of, let's say, the broader micronational community, that they can come in and just be like, well, I'm interested in doing something. This is interesting, and they don't have to get too involved, but they have a great opportunity to see like a different lifestyle or a different way of doing things, or just be a part of something, that's different and unique.
Oh, 100%. I think that's the I guess hardest part about doing this initially, but the easiest part about doing it once it's established. Like this is a big undertaking. This system feels like, I think for a lot of people, it just kind of it is this big emerging thing that's trying to adapt and adjust its way in. But the payoff to that is that then there is this flood of value and an increase in just what we're able to provide as a community. And then when other people see that as non-micronationalists, they come in and they say, wow, these people are saying they're creating their own countries. They have a culture to show for it. They have this huge trade network to show for it. They're making money. There are people who run businesses in this. They seem pretty real to me, or at very least an interesting thing to check out. You know?
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be, yeah, that's fine. And you're right. Like, I know initially when we were drafting these ideas and kind of putting them together, we would talk back and forth, and we look at each other and be like, "All right, though," because you're right. Like things, designing them, it's heavy, and there's a lot of different parts and things involved, and one step at a time, of course. I don't know initially, yeah, and I'm really happy that the prestige system is taking off, and it's really going somewhere, further ahead and pushing all of this too. That's really exciting to have.
Absolutely. I think a good saying to be used here is there's no right way to there's no one right way to do any of those systems and trying to develop something like this, but there are a whole bunch of wrong ways, and I think to a certain extent the
Yeah.
ideal uh, to a certain extent I think the ideal is just trying to make it as simple and as effective a starting point as possible, and then from there to just kind of pick it up and work with it as you go along. Because you don't want to make something that's overly bulky right away, but if you don't make enough for it, and if you don't make it something that people can use right away, then it loses its luster really quick.
Absolutely. Well, already it's reasonably easy, I feel, to get involved with Eternia, and I feel that a lot of the things that it takes to become a citizen, or even a foreign dignitary, or even part of the government in general, like just come in and put in the effort, put in the work. I'm just focused to be part of the community, and you just keep at it. And then welcome to Eternia. And I'm really excited to share. As we continue to share more and more things, I'm excited to see more and more people come involved in other systems. And other things. Already. You go to the Patreon. You submit a video. Join the Discord and say, hey, subscribe and like and watch the live streams and thank you guys for watching the live streams, and just do that. And you're already involved, and you're not just involved in, just Eternia, Eternia as an empire, and the people that we have that are involved in what we're doing here, you're involved with them as well. And you get to be a part of an empire that's really working hard to make changes and really working hard to do new things and push ahead and what 1.19k subscribers, that's awesome, and it's really exciting to have, be a part of that. And yeah, it doesn't mean like we wake up and like hurrah, but it's always going forward, and that's really exciting.
Absolutely, and I think that's really cool as well. Is like we um, we do have this system now, which is slowly but surely starting to pay off. It's definitely a big momentum thing, and I keep using that word, but it's accurate for it. And that the larger Eternia becomes, the harder it is to push, the harder it is to get all of this to work and to roll properly and to pick up speed. But the more speed it picks up, the harder it is to slow down. The more it continues to turn, the easier you can start to push it. It is becoming something now that is starting to make its own internal successes and starting to kind of work for itself. And so I think we're not quite over the hardest part yet. I think the hardest part will be uh, initially, like once we get through initial like land setup and we start our first thing and that gets stable, then I feel like we'll really be over the hardest part for a good while. Because after that, we're just trying to make sure that this thing that we grow grows sustainably, and just kind of watching it develop and fixing its edges where it needs to be.
Mm, yeah, definitely. I think the other thing that would be really, really hard for Eternia is that big micronational war that we're planning, and their plans and everything.
Of
I
course.
think that's going to be hard training the royal military. Yeah, definitely.
Of
Um,
course, of course. Well, uh, you, for every micronational war, for every micronational military, there's got to be the micronational, not even Switzerland, the micronational like Gandhi. We gotta be the ones off to the side. Like everybody, put your guns down. We'll like sing it out. Come on, guys. Let's
sing it out.
come on. Oh man, let's make some money. We
Nathan will
got
pull.
T-shirts. We got lemonade.
Yeah, yeah. Come drink some tea.
We'll
You
talk it out.
know. Yeah,
Of
we'll
course.
talk
The
it out.
tea. That's what we gotta do. We gotta when we do our when we do our oh, that would actually be really cool. Hold up. How long do can you package and yeah, you can. Can we make tea? Is it
Yeah.
hard to bottle and sell tea?
Oh, well, to bottle it would be a different
Or not necessarily
story.
like to
I think.
bottle like glass, but like to contain it and like sell it reasonably.
Oh, well, as to ship like herbs, or to
No, like
package and ship it.
like liquid tea.
Oh. Well, if you were to do so, I believe I don't know what it states. I don't. You would have to pass some qualifications, if I'm correct, because you can't sell food without doing that. And then I wonder if so. I know like locally, um, at least where I live around here, some people make drinks and they sell them, but that's only locally. And yeah, things like kombachas or even some alcohols like moonshine and stuff that are sold all locally. Um, but I don't know to what extent they have licensing or whatnot for all of that. So I don't know. I mean, we'd have to check into it. And depending where it was made and how it was shipped. I mean, canning things. I mean, I've canned things before, and it's not that complicated to can things. I mean, it's also depends what you're canning. Definitely, it's definitely possible. We just have to look into it.
That's fair. I wouldn't want to get into something that requires too much infrastructure at the moment, but I feel like if it would be reasonable to do some sort of like food or beverage item. I was thinking like tea potentially or like a soda, but tea because specifically you like tea and so it'd be like a cultural thing, or like even candy, if you could do like a gummy candy or something like that, or like
Yeah.
I know there's YouTubers who sell sour candy and stuff like that. Like if you could make and sell that as like a part of Eternia, it'd be cool because then when people come to like conventions that we do and when like we do like big micronational meetups, you could have like Gray's tea and you could because like Gray tea, Earl Grey, Gray's Gray tea. You could have you could have,
uh,
of course, it's you with a long gray beard. It would be great. Uh, we'll do Gray's tea. We'll do, we could do like candy or something. Just things that would feel like when you walk in, like, oh, this is this community, you know?
It's funny that you say that, because a few years ago I was working on a tea that I really enjoyed, and I shared it with a few people, and they seemed to like it as well. But just because I wasn't in the industry of selling tea, I never made more of it. But I always thought it'd be cool to share my concoction or my mixture with other people. So it's funny that you say that. It gets me thinking. I'm stroking my gray beard now.
Hmm. Absolutely. I was gonna
Mm,
say, next time we see each other, I would love to have some. You'll have to show it to me.
It's a complicated process, but I'd love to share with you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, I
Mm.
think
The secret ingredient is tears.
is tears.
Is tears.
Goodness.
No.
I hope tears of joy. I hope it's tears because you thought of something just absolutely. It's because you drank the tea and the tea is so perfect that it makes you cry a tear into the next batch, and that's how you keep the cycle going.
Yeah, there's a candy that does that. That they mix the old batch with the new product, so that the flavor is always a little bit different. I don't remember what candy is it.
I know they do that for blow pop, not blow pops, but the little it may be blow pops, the one that has like the mystery flavor. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
because yeah, they mix in just whatever the old batch was. Um, but yeah. As well, Tiffany has finished her homework now, so I think I'm about to go. But I did want to ask, Gray, when would you be available to meet up next?
Let's see. How's Wednesday?
Wednesday. I will have to check to make sure I am not on the road. If I am not on the road, or if we can do it either before or after I'm on the road, yes. So, uh, as of right now, yes. Let's continue to talk and set it up uh, after like
Definitely,
today.
yeah, I'll hit you up after the stream.
Carpet, I think. Maybe. Um, yeah, absolutely. I would really appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, oh, okay. There's a spider, so we're dealing with spider issues. at the moment.
Like it's on the side of the
Oh.
carpet. No.
Um,
See it?
yeah,
Hey,
so
look,
I would
look at it,
appreciate
look
it.
at it, look at it, look at it.
Oh, it's on a web too and everything. Yeah.
Get it, man, Dust.
Okay. Give me one
Kill that
second.
spider.
Man, Spider-Man.
Did you? Hey, you step on the wall.
My apologies. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and wind down the stream. I really appreciate you hanging out, Gray. And I am sorry we didn't get to talk more. I am excited to talk to you on Wednesday.
Definitely, yeah. It was great talking to you as well.
Absolutely. Have a good night, man.
You as well.
You killed it. You cleaned it up.
Okay. I have to go clean up this spider, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I want to read Leanna's messages real quick. She said,
Thank you for
I'll buy anything Aeternian, you know that, right? Thank you very much, Leanna. She said, check with the state attorney general about state regulations on currency. I will also have to do that. That's actually great advice. I will talk to them and I will continue to pursue this further. I actually want to talk to you more about that as this process continues. Leanna, if you guys don't know, is a citizen of ours. She's been working heavily with us in helping that. She said, do something like Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Boy Scout badges / patches for the quest system. That sounds really cool, actually. Yeah, I would really like that. That sounds awesome. I would love to see designs and stuff for that. Leanna said, greetings, Tiffany. Yeah, but greetings, Leanna, and yeah, we will wind the stream down. I appreciate it, guys. Go kill that spider. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
You didn't say that. You just said you're winding down. You say you're ending it.
Okay, so
That's two different
so
things.
Tiffany's taking the stream over apparently.
I want to see what you were doing on here. When was the last time you updated the Aristocat board?
Since our last group of things got sent out. By the way, we're still trying to send out more, guys, so don't worry.
Did you add in Liana's 35 that was just
I
sent
don't
out?
think so. We were talking about that earlier on stream. I need to check that, but I don't think so. I don't think it's updated.
If you do put that in, that's up to 90.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Liana, I believe, is the richest Aeternian at the moment, or the richest person on the aristocrat board, and she's an Aeternian, which is cool.
And she is in an Eternia. What do you mean by that?
She's an Aeternian. A citizen.
Oh, an Eternian. I thought you said in Eternia, and I
Right
was
now,
like,
she's
what?
here
We don't
right
have
now.
like.
She's here right now.
I mean, she could visit, but
Yeah. One day. One day. That's the dream.
what is that?
That is the description for the YouTube videos that I put in.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Tiffany's doing a stream checkout. But yeah, guys, the last.
also, wait, no, I have to say the greetings to Liana because she said greetings to me, and you said greetings for me.
Absolutely.
If you speak for myself,
You can. So the other thing, yes, we need to check the aristocrat board. We need to update that. We have a whole bunch more nations on our micronational map. I suggest you guys check that out. We are getting nations all over the world now. This is really, really crazy, really cool, and I am excited to see our progress here. I recommend everybody, like, for real, go and check out the micronational map if you guys have it on our website. We have, I think, 80 something, 90 something nations potentially on our website. It's getting quite large. There are, I forget, is it like 300 nations or something like that? There's a certain amount of like macro nations on the earth. It's in the hundreds. I think we're gonna surpass that within too long. There's just a ton of micronations, and they change constantly, and they update constantly. So we're continuing to try and make improvements to the micronational map as well. But right now, we do have a lot to show. So It's cool to see how much support we have. It also is cool to see how many different micronational communities are developing around the world and where they are, because that's a great way for micronations to start interacting with each other.
Do you see this one?
Yep. They're
That
in,
flag reminds me of a candy that my grandma used to always have at her house. It's
Neat.
like, it's in a clear wrapper, but it has like a black and white like line over it. I don't think it has a star on it, but
Yeah.
it's just like some hard, I don't know if it's, I think it's like peanut butter, but I'm not sure.
Very cool.
I never knew the flavor of the thing, but I liked it.
Absolutely. So yeah, that one's super cool.
These
I
are
agree. That's
almost the same.
Blazetopia. Yeah. Those two are very, so they're literally well, nope.
They have
They have the same colors, but
their white is on top.
Yeah.
It's like, so they just put their blue on the bottom.
Yep. That one, the one on the right, is Molossia. They're in Nevada. The one on the left is, let's check. Da-da-da. The Democratic Republic of the People's Democratic Republic of Kortaj. In South Korea.
How would you say that name? Sergey.
Sergey
Oh, Sergey.
Dinsarin. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Leanna said, "I can't wait to meet you in person, Tiffany." Hey.
Much
cool.
love back.
Yay.
You missed the one above.
Much love, Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited to meet you, Leanna. I'm excited to continue growing Aeternia with you.
What, baby?
What I was gonna say, let me see. We need to update that. I need to update a whole bunch of stuff. We're trying to get more of the stuff out for the Imperial Market, so check that out. As well, did we get paper? We didn't get paper.
We
right?
don't have paper.
Yeah, I need to get paper. That's one of the things we gotta do. I gotta go get paper. But yeah, we will continue to update you guys on what's going on. The next few days will be interesting. There may be a lot going on, so we will continue to talk about that soon.
No, did you just get off it? Oh.
No, it's still there.
No, you just have to play it.
Oh, okay.
At the end of every stream, you need to make it a thing. It's gonna be super loud.
Let me see. Let me see what it looks like. Just trying to make sure that one users out. There we go. Leanna said, "I remember those. It was peanut butter covered with hardened sugar." Leanna's got you. Yeah, Leanna knew exactly what candy you were talking about. That was very cool.
I thought it was peanut butter.
Yeah, you got it. Was it like a super sweet peanut butter? I don't like super sweet peanut butter, but that's
Yeah,
always in
but
my
it's
candy.
like it's a hard candy, but then when you chew into it, definitely like it's stuck in your teeth. So you have to try to like pick it out later. But
Absolutely.
it tastes good.
Absolutely. Also, if you guys didn't know, what we're playing right now is actually the current national anthem for the Empire of Aeternia. And so we're super excited about it. This has been our national anthem for years now. And it's super, super cool. To me, it feels like super futuristic-y and super fun. I don't know, it makes me excited. It makes me feel proud, and it makes me think about all the different things
I feel
that we're going to
restricted.
be doing in the future and how we have grown this nation. So, thank you. Yep, this is Home by. Ooh, you're getting moonbus. This is Home by. It's the group is called Home, and the song is called We're Finally Landing. And I think that's fairly accurate because Aeternia, it has some symbolism to it, I suppose. Aeternia is, the words Aeternia mean, come from eternal and ethereal. Eternal meaning forever, ethereal meaning spirit-like or like not physical. So for a long time, the Empire of Aeternia was something that wasn't physical. It was based in the hearts and minds of the people that have created it, starting with me and starting with nothing, and then kind of branching and growing from there, thanks to the support of all of you. So in like fashion, we are this eternal thing, this ethereal thing that is now coming to light, now is landing and is coming true. So we are getting our land, we are landing on the world stage, and we are showing Aeternia off as everything it can be. And that's thanks to all of you. That's thanks to you, Leanna, that's thanks to you, Grid, that's thanks to you, Steven, that's great. Thanks to you, Nathan. That's thanks to Drew, that's thanks to the Empire of Whitewind, that's thanks to everybody. What's up? And Matthew, my apologies. I'm always forgetting people. And Matthew. Exactly, I was gonna say one but not the other. Matt is actually a citizen, and Drew is not as of the moment, I believe. But yeah, so I swapped it around. But still, thanks to everybody. Drew has been helping us. Matt, a citizen, top of our aristocrat board, and potentially might get rivaled by Leanna, so we'll have to watch out. But yeah, that's what's important to us, that we're doing well, and that thanks to all of you, we're doing well, is what's most important. So, you know, we have a system that we believe in. We're growing that system. We're trying to make it better, and it's something that has been because of this community, and I can't wait for the future. It's honestly been a fantastic journey, and it just makes me want to put more and more in every day. Multiple things. Leanna said, I'd like to hear the Aeternian anthem played on electric guitar tuned in drop D. I would like that. I would love to hear that. If there's ever a time where we can get a musician in the Empire of Aeternia to do that for us, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I would love to be able to see that performance and put it on the channel and do all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. More updates soon. One thing, that's what I was going to say. On our YouTube channel, real quick, boom, we are getting close to monetization. I want to talk about monetization every stream, and I was about to leave this stream without talking about it, so I'll mention it real fast. For those of you still watching, thank you so much. We have 2 people still hanging out with us. For our monetization, we have 2,742 public watch time hours out of 4,000. So we're almost there to...
More than halfway.
Yep, we're more than halfway.
Almost
we're almost 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, 3/4.
And that's incredible. Yep, we only have one. We're almost with... Right now we're probably at about 1/3 left. Soon we'll be at about 1/4 left. That'll be crazy. And so we're pushing right now. We're almost at 1,200 as well. We get 10 more subs. We're at 1,200 subs. That'll be starting to pass up some even larger YouTube channels. We're getting to a point where we're aiming big on this. We're going to be growing Aeternia to the fullest extent it can. So we're doing well, and that's thanks to all of you. One of the things that has really shown that as well, and I'll just briefly mention it, is our Twitter and our Instagram. Our Twitter, we're almost at 100. That's been a crazy thing that has taken us a while to try and get through. Getting that first 100 on Twitter, I think for a micronation and how niche it is difficult in general, unless you go and like just follow a whole bunch of people. But it's really, really cool to see how much support we've gotten and how much our tweets have connected us into what that Twitter micronational community is. So I appreciate that, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited. We're starting to get accepted more and more. Same thing with Instagram. our Instagram on the Aeternian Empire. I'm not going to log in as of the moment, but that's something that I absolutely want to do more with and want to see more of. So yeah, our Instagram's doing well, our Twitter's doing well, and we are moving forward. Thank you guys so much for all the views, all the support. We have 3 viewers now. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a good night. Peace, everybody. You want to say bye? Oh, wait, Tiffany's looking at the...
308.
We have 308. Also, thank you guys for 300 followers on Instagram. Hey, 300 followers. We have 300 followers. We almost have 100 on our Twitter, and we're at almost 1,200 on YouTube. So we are on our way, and the community's backing us. So I will see you soon. Till next time. You say bye.